accepting your kids as they are instead of who you
Yes.
wish that they
Yeah.
were or want them to be is so important.
Yeah.
Where would you take your life if you knew you could not fail? I get it. As a stepmom, mom, and entrepreneur, sometimes it can feel like what everyone else expects of you versus what you dream about for yourself are on opposite ends of the spectrum. As a woman, you're taught from a very young age what society thinks you're worth based on how you look, how you behave, and how much money you're allowed to bring in. But I'm here to show you that you can be the woman who has it all, and not just on the outside. I'm Brittany Lynch, and you are the queen of your castle.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Queen of Your Castle podcast. Buckle up, ladies, because we have such a fun episode today. Our guest today is Tracy Ko, and Tracy Ko is an expert in human design. Human design, I'm going to let the expert take it away and explain to us what that means, but Tracy helps people understand who they are and why they are the way that they are on a really beautiful, deep soul level. So I'm so honored and humbled and grateful, Tracy, that you're here today. Let us know, like, who is Tracy Ko?
Okay. So my name is Tracy Ko. I'm actually from Hong Kong. So I'm very glad to be on this podcast episode. So I have been studying human design, I think, for around 7 years. And I've been doing readings for other people and teaching human design for around 2 years. So yeah.
Amazing. For somebody who has never heard of human design, what is human design?
Okay, so human design is an energetic blueprint that helps you discover your strength, to help you understand why you are different from everybody else, and to help you to move from resistance to flow and fulfillment.
And how does someone discover their human design type?
It's very easy. You just need to type in your birth data, and then the computer, the program will help generate your human design chart. And just when you said there's a memory inside my head, it's like a kind of mind when I ask her, because she's very new to human design, when I introduced her what is human design. And after the sessions, I asked her, so how do you feel? What do you think of human design? And she's like, wow, she's saying human design is just amazing. It's like getting a personality test without me manually answering 100 questions. And it's so unbiased that it helps me to understand myself and help me to own the characters or the positive string that I have inside myself. And it also helps her to understand her sister and her boyfriend and the people in her life. Yeah. And it's so amazing because the strength and the characters that I mentioned to her, that I remind her, is actually like the strength that she disregard, like she doesn't take into seriously before she understand her human design. And she was it's like the character or the strength that is actually a strength, but it's the strength that she has been looking down on for many years.
Very interesting. Like a piece of your personality. I love how you said it's like a personality test, but way deeper.
Yeah.
And
I've also heard another person to describe human design in a way that to me I think is so beautiful. And she said, human design is like having a palm reading, uh, 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 a Reiki healing, and tarot reading all in one place.
Okay, tarot reading, palm reading, and what was the other thing you said?
The Reiki healing.
Reiki healing all at the same time. That's what human design.
Yes.
Oh, amazing.
Yes.
Mine is super fun. Before we like dive into the specifics of it, can you tell us, how did you get started in human design?
Okay, so I started to learn about human design around 7 years ago when I was starting my spiritual journey. Growing up, I have always feel like I don't fit into this community. I don't even still fit in my family. I'm not so sure if you relate to it, but I don't feel fit in, and I try. Trust me, I tried everything I can to try to be everyone, to be like everyone, but it doesn't work, and it makes me hate myself. And one day I was watching YouTube, and there's a guy and he is a celebrity, and he is sharing his spiritual journey. And I was like, wow, okay, that's interesting. And it felt so resonate. And it's like the very first time that makes me feel like, okay, there's actually a community that I could fit in. So I was like starting to find out everything that I can about spirituality in the internet. And at that time, spirituality is a very new word to me. New age is a very new word to me. I was like, what is that? I don't understand this word. But I order all the books that I can order, like through that I felt resonate with through the internet, and I also go to the bookstore to buy the books. And I was like, wow, there's so much resonance in those writings. But don't ask me what I've read because I couldn't tell you. But just deep like resonance and knowing inside of me. So like this is I know this stuff. This is it felt so correct. It felt so right inside of me. And one day I was introduced to human design by a friend. And to be honest, at the very beginning, I was like, wow, this is so complicated. It's not something for me. I have a very simple mind. But then when I start really like dive into it and to study it and to learn it, I was like, wow, this is so amazing. I can actually just look at a chart and to understand people. And this really speak to me because I mean, for a very selfish reason is growing up, I don't feel being understood. And I was like, wow, this is actually a chart that can help people to understand me. And there's a chart that can help me to also understand myself better. I was like, wow, that's so amazing. I mean, there must be many people out there who are in my position and who was like, nobody understand me. And then there's a chart that could help people to understand themselves. You know how amazing that would be? And to me, also another thing is I feel like a lot of time there are communications problem between human beings is because we don't understand each other. And to be honest, this is something unavoidable because I'm not Brittany, you're not Tracy, and it's impossible for me to understand you, right? And it's normal that you don't understand me. And if there's a chart that could help me understand you and help you to understand me, like you can you imagine like how much misunderstanding can be avoided? And if you step one step ahead and understand, like if the parents can understand through a chart, can understand the children, can you imagine like how much understanding and love that children can experience in their family?
I love that. That's so beautiful and so important to me. For so many reasons. And I specifically kind of want to go down this question of, you know, when you said you were a kid and you felt like you didn't fit in, you tried, right?
Yes.
Tried to fit in, you tried to feel like you were like everybody else, but you just didn't. And I feel that a lot of kids feel that way on a various, like on a spectrum, right? Some kids feel more out of place than others, right? You obviously were at that high end of that spectrum where you were like, I don't belong here. Why am I on this planet? Like, this is for me. But you're here now to help parents be able to support their kids in this really beautiful way. And I couldn't agree more that understanding our kids and understanding each other on this soul level, really, what an amazing gift to offer relationships, to understand people on this entirely different level.
Yeah, it is. To me, every time that parents who come to me and and they told me that they want to have a reading for themselves and also for their kids, I was like, wow, this kid grows up in a very loving family. Mm-hmm. I envy that kid.
But now you get to serve the world. Now you get to change the world by having parents be so supportive to their kids. What a beautiful. Tracy, can you tell us, what are the human design types? People who are listening are probably like, what's my human design? How do I know that? So in a nutshell, what are the types and what do they mean?
Okay, so there are many layers in human design. And the very first layer that people like to know is the first layer, which is the types. So there are 5 types. There are the manifestor, the generators, the manifesting generator, the projectors, and the reflectors. So the manifestors are the initiator. They're here to initiate, and they make up of 8% of the populations. And they're very powerful beings and like to do things on their own way. They don't like to be limited. They don't like to be confined in a certain way. And if your kid is a manifestor, often what happens is you will see like the kids doesn't like to be helped. They like to do things on their own way. And a very simple example is like I have parents who told me that they was just trying to like help open a juice. Like, you know, the juice, like you have a straw that you have to put in the juice box and then you hand it to the children, right? I think it's a very normal thing for parents to do, right? The kids like want to have a juice, and then so they go to the refrigerator, they take out the juice and they put a straw into the juice and hand it to the kids. And if your kid is a manifestor, the kids may be very angry at you because they were like, why did you help me to put the straw into the juice box? I want to do it myself.
That's funny. As you're saying this, haven't checked my son's chart, but I am almost certain from this explanation that he is a manifestor, because everything is, I'll do it myself. He's 3. Right. And he's very like, everything he can do by himself, he will try before he asks for help. So this is super interesting. Like the juice box thing, I'm like, just let me put the straw in for you. He's like, I'll do it myself. He's 3. Right. So very cool. I'm going to have to look. What is Rory? Is Rory a manifestor? Let's find out.
Yeah. Okay.
After the manifestor, what is the next type?
Okay, the next is the generators. So the generators are the doers and the builders, and they're here to do what lights them up, and they're here to prioritize satisfactions and excitement in their life. And if your kids is generators, and they are full of energy, and it's very healthy for you to like use up all their energy on a day-to-day basis. So if you but I know it's very difficult in this in this age because of the COVID, and I know like so many parents, they were crazy with their kids because all the generated kids are confined in a home, and there's no room for them to like use up all their energy. And because they cannot use up all their energy, so they start like doing a lot of something that the parents won't like in the home, and it's driving the parents crazy. And what I told these parents is like, I know it's hard like in this in this age because of COVID, but try your best to let your kid to go out to go outside. Maybe it's on the playground when like there's no people out there, and let them run, let them just like use up all their energy. And like if you can do it, like things will get much better at home.
Okay. Well, maybe now I feel like Rory is a generator. I don't know. He's got a ton of energy. What's the next type?
But how many kids do you have?
I just have one. I have one biological and one teenage stepson. So my husband's son is 13 and our kid is 3. Yeah.
Okay. So, and the next type is the manifesting generator. So the manifesting generator is like a blend between the manifestor and the generator. So the manifesting generator have both the qualities of the generators and the manifestor, but it's still under the category of the generator. So there are also the doers and the builders, and the differences between manifesting generators and a generators is manifesting generators are born to be multi-passionate. And I think to understand that your kids is a multi-passionate is very important, because I know a lot of people who are born multi-passionate has been feeling wrong about this quality inside of themselves. And it's very healthy for them to have multiple projects going on at the same time, and to not to be confined or fixed into just one project, because for them, it's the most healthy for them if to have multiple projects going on at the same time.
Oh, I love that. Instead of being like, just sit here and focus on this one thing. It's okay for manifesting generator kids to have their lots of things on the go at the same time. That's what they need. That's what their soul is here to find.
Yeah. A lot of like kids, grown up kids who are manifesting generator, they will tell you, okay, I'm a nurse, I'm an artist, I'm a writer, I'm this and I'm that. And they can handle all of them like so well.
Cool. And what's the fourth type?
Okay, the fourth type is like you are the projector. So projectors are the guide, and they are here to guide people, and they have an innate gift to guide. And but a lot of time, I know like if your family has a projected kid, you will like see that kids is like always saying, okay, you should do this, you should do that, you should. Yeah, it's like being perceived as bossy. I'm not so sure if you relate to that. Like maybe your parents or your brother or your sister, your elder brothers, sisters, it's like, stop being so bossy. I know, because I'm also a projector. So I have like grown-ups told me that I'm so bossy. But like as a kid, I don't know that. It's like innately I just guide people, you understand? And so it's very important, like if you understand that, okay, this is a kid that is a projector, and when they guide, when they are like they were not trying to be bosses, just like the way to express themselves. And if you understand your kids is a projector, the healthy way for you is not stop them to guide other people, but to help them understand like when to guide and when to be silent. And
yeah, that's so good. This really resonates with me because I am a projector, and as you know, and that was always, if somebody could explain me as a kid, they would say bossy. And it was something that I was led to believe was this shameful quality, right?
Yeah.
I was too much. I was always too much. I was always too loud. I was always too like controlling. But really it's just because and you probably understand this as a projector, we just see things differently, right? We just see humans differently. And it's like, if you do it my way, it'll help. Like just to do.
Yes, exactly. And you know, like so many of our gifts are shame because parents don't understand them. But I'm not like blaming parents because they don't know. But if there's a chart, like a human design chart that can help parents to understand their children, how much like change that bring.
Accepting your kids as they are instead of who you
Yes.
wish that they were or want them to be is so important.
Yeah, and to understand that we are all different. But I mean, like we know, like we say that, right? We say that like in the spiritual community, like we always say that people are different. But how? And now with the human design chart, you know how we are different, and it's beautiful.
It is so beautiful.
Yes.
And Tracy, what is the last type?
Right. Okay, the last type is a reflector. So it's like a unicorn because they're so rare. There are only like 1% of the populations are the reflectors. Yes, they're only 1% of the populations, and they are sensitive kids, and they and they are here to reflect the surroundings. What does that mean is reflective kids are so sensitive that they almost like know what is going on in their surrounding. It's very hard for them to be surprised because they were just so sensitive that they know what is going on in the world, in their surrounding. So if you have reflective kids, it's very important to put them in a space that they feel good. And it's very important to for you to put them in a space that the people that they are with and the kids feel good with the people that they are with, and to value the kids perspective because you have a kid that can see things objectively, and there's a value in them, and you want to invite that kid to share how he see things or how she see things, because the kid is going to give you a very objective perspective.
I wonder if my stepson is a reflector. Actually, he's a very deep and very intuitive and very sensitive, very, very, very sensitive. So I'm gonna have to look up, see what the boys are. This is super fascinating.
Yeah.
So after parents find out, what design types their kids are, it sounds like you've got some like good recommendations about how to meet your kids where they're at. What would be kind of your advice to give to parents when their design types maybe clash and the parents have a hard time understanding why these kids are the way that they are and want to support them, but it just feels really strange to them?
I think taking space is very important. Like to understand, like okay. So for example, if like I'll take your case an example. So let's say if your son is a manifestor, so he's someone who wants to do things in his own way, right? But you as a projector, it's like I want to guide you. I need to guide you. You're going down the wrong path. I want to guide you, and I think it's very important as a parent to understand that kids and to honor his kids' design, and to understand that right now the kid needs to experience the world in his own way. And no matter how much as a parent that you want to guide, especially if you are a projector and you just want to you're going down the wrong path, there's a hole, don't jump into that hole. And is I know it's hard, but it's very important for a parent to step back and to understand, like, you are actually doing a disservice to guide when your son is a manifestor, because the best way for him to learn is him doing everything by himself and experiencing the world in his own way. And you can always guide, right? But just not now.
I love that. Just not now. You can do it, just not now. That's so amazing.
Yeah.
So where is the best place for people to discover what their kids are?
You can go to geneticmatrix.com and find the human design chart for everyone.
Okay. And what determines what design type somebody is?
Okay, so it's going to be a more complicated. It's kind of hard to explain it just with my sound, not visuals. But I will try my best. So it depends on the time of your birth. So basically, when you were born, like there are many different planets. Like the location of the planets will affect the energy that you have in your body. I'm not so sure if I'm explaining it like, does it make sense to you?
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So where you were born, like the location of the planets had an effect on you, and that's how what determines your types.
Okay. So what is the difference between human design and astrology?
Okay, so there are astrology in human design, and I think there's two different systems. And I think I mean, like astrology, like there are like medical stuff that you can look out for in astrology. But I think the differences between astrology and human design is human design actually give you the tools and how to live to your best potential.
Okay. That's so huge.
Yeah, and actually, and also human design give you the tools for you to be aware when you are off track.
Right. So what might that look like as an example?
Okay, for example, okay, so that is something. Okay, so for example, as you are a projector, so because every type have a signature. For the manifestor, it's peace. For the generator and the manifesting generator, it's satisfactions. For the projector, it's bitterness. Sorry, I was mixing up the signature and the not self theme. I mean, like, so every type. So let me once again begin again. I'm so excited. Sorry. Let me like try it again. Okay. So for every type, there's a signature. For the manifestor, it's peace. For the generators and the manifesting generators are satisfactions. For the projector, it's success. And for the reflectors, it's surprise. So this feeling are kind of a signpost for each type to understand where they are on track or off track. So if a projector is on track, they will feel successful. And if they are off track, they will feel bitterness.
Oh.
So whenever bitterness comes up, that's a sign for a projector to understand that, okay, so they are now on a path of resistance. So what they can do to move back to a path of flow. So when if you are feeling bitter, then you can ask yourself, are the person that you are interacting with not valuing you? Are you spending too much time on people who doesn't see you and recognize you?
I feel like you're looking into my soul right now, Tracy. We're not go off camera here if you want the answer to those questions. Wow, that just gave me goosebumps. Those are great. That's huge.
Yeah, and that's the magic of human design, because by asking this simple question, you can simply remove yourself from a lot of resistance and go back to a path that brings flow and fulfillment.
That feels aligned and authentic and everything that you want to feel while we're here. Is there anything else, Tracy, that you want to share with us?
There's so many things that I can share with you about human design. Okay, so I think if you haven't looked into your human design, I highly suggest you to look up your human design chart and the human design chart of your family, and not just your kid, but your siblings, your parents, if possible. I know it's kind of hard to look at the human design chart of our parents because most of our parents don't know their birth time. And but if possible, is like the most amazing thing to know, because if you understand your parents' human design chart, it will take away a lot of grudges and sadness. Because now you understand like why your parents did what they did when you were growing up. Yeah.
I think the thing I love the most about human design is how much permission that it grants people to
Yes.
be imperfect humans, and accept that the things other people maybe have done to us has never been about us in the first place.
Yeah. And I think the reason I love human design is give us so much empathy and understanding for each other. And it also gives us the tools to collaborate and work together with other people. And I think it's very like to me, I don't know, it's just a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is.
Tracy, if any of our listeners wanted to have a reading done by you, where is the best place for them to be able to reach out?
Okay, so they can go to my website, which is souljourney.info.
Okay. Souljourney.info.
Yeah, souljourney.info. But don't be surprised to see Chinese there. Yeah, but there's English and Chinese. Yeah.
Just be prepared in advance. You're on the right page if you find the Chinese, is what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah.
Journey.info. I'll make sure to link that up in the show notes.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Tracy. I think what you're doing is a really beautiful thing. I never, ever would have thought to look up the human design of my kids or my spouse or my parents. I've only ever known my own design. So what a world of possibilities that this opens up, and the relationships that get to be more connected from doing this is really, really exciting. It's a really amazing thing to know people authentically in this way that's really hard for most people to communicate about themselves, right? I know who I am, but it's hard for me to say these things to you, to describe that. So
yeah, exactly. And I think the beauty of human design is give us the language.
Yes.
For us to understand each other and to explain ourselves.
Language is so important. Oh, beautiful.
It
Thank
is.
you so much for being here tonight, this morning. 9 a.m. in Hong Kong and 8 p.m. in Canada. I'm glad that we can make it work, and I appreciate so much what you're doing. You're changing the world, and we love it. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I had a good time with talking to you. Thank you.
Hey there, Brittany here. I wanted to let you know about a special online mini training that I'm offering for free for a limited time. It's called Peace, Love, Stepmom. And not to toot my own horn, but beep, beep, it's pretty freaking awesome. Peace, Love, Stepmom will give you the exact steps to take in order to create more harmony in your stepfamily without feeling like you have to walk on eggshells or bite your tongue or ignore your own needs just to keep the peace. Because if you are listening to this, then chances are pretty good that you know there's a big difference between not fighting and actually feeling peaceful. To enroll in Peace, Love, Stepmom and get immediate access to this incredible online course, head to peacelovestepmom.com and sign up. It's totally free. You don't want to miss it. So go to peacelovestepmom.com to enroll and get immediate access. I hope this episode got your wheels turning and showed you just how powerful you are. I would invite you to take 30 seconds and tap subscribe to this podcast. When you subscribe to the podcast, then rest assured you will never miss an episode. And in no time, spinning your wheels will be a thing of the past. Thank you for listening and subscribing. And if you enjoyed this episode, it would mean the absolute world to me if after you subscribed, you jumped on over and left me a 5-star review, and better yet, a written review. I am on a mission to let every mom and stepmom know that you can create the life of your dreams. And I need your help to change the world. The world needs us. Thank you so much for subscribing and leaving me a 5-star review. I will see you next week. For more behind the scenes action and to get really up close and personal with me and our beautiful step family, jump on over to Instagram and follow me at The Step Queen. Don't be shy, send me a DM, tag me in your posts, tag me in your stories, let me know what you're up to and what about the podcast has been blowing your mind. I cannot wait to get to know you better, and Instagram is my jam. I love you so much. I love you so much. Make it rain, girlfriend.